Hey everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome to yet another episode of Back to the Light. I am your host, JD Reager. What you're about to experience is a condensed version of the Back to the Light Radio Memphis Holiday Telethon. The full version lives at the Radio Memphis Facebook page. We recorded this last week, 12/18, at Radio Memphis to benefit Room in the Inn Memphis. If you don't know about Room in the Inn, it's a vital organization that shelters those experiencing homelessness with hospitality. To donate, visit ritimemphis.org. Joining me and Radio Memphis hosts Rick and Monica for this extravaganza will be musician Jeremy Scott, musician activist Marvin Stockwell, from Memphis Wrestling, Dustin Starr, oh yeah, and Big John Dalton, and the mighty Subteens. Let's get into it. I'm excited that you let me do this, especially considering that as we were speaking about off the air, that, you know, you're not a super big Christmas guy.
Not really. He's not. He's been loving all of this.
And here we are doing a Christmas telethon and surrounded by tinsel, and, you know, you're even wearing a Santa hat.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah,
half
sort
of
of.
half of it is, the other half says bah humbug.
Okay, that's, well, the headphones are covering up.
That's how I feel about the holiday. I'm kind of with it in some aspects. If you want to celebrate it, that's fine. That's great. If you don't, I'm in your camp over there. It's, you know.
I'm the one that decorated.
Oh, I mean, I'm in that. Well, I appreciate it. It looks great. The set looks great.
Thank you.
I'm for
the set. Yeah.
I'm for either camp. You know, I support anyone's decision to sit on the sidelines who feel like they must for their own, you know, for their own health or whatnot. But I am pro Christmas and, you know, unashamed about it.
I'm not anti-Christmas by any means. If you want to do your thing, do your thing. I just, you know. I'm usually working it anyway, so I don't care.
You're always working it.
I am.
I'm going to be making puns like that all night.
Monica, you got some competition over there.
Puns, I love it.
She spent all morning over there just bashing us with Christmas jokes all day today.
I did, and y'all loved it.
Some people did, yes. I will
It
grant
was
them
ridiculous.
They loved aspects of it. I can sense.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
She laid one out there, and I got the punchline for it before she laid that out there. But I understood it, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of punchlines, we've had a little change in our program this evening, apparently. We have a couple of comedians that are unable to make it tonight.
It's fine. You know, we didn't need to laugh.
No. No, we don't. No, not at all.
This is a very serious endeavor today.
It is. It's a very serious endeavor.
It's a very serious Christmas.
Room in the Inn is a very serious place, and we're here to help them. And,
yes.
And we don't need to be making fun of people.
No. Why make light of such a serious topic?
Exactly.
That's what I say.
I hear you.
And I want to definitely give a shout out to the person who's sitting here with us because he stepped in at the last minute this morning. And that's Jeremy Scott from the Drip Edges and Raining Sound.
Hello, Jeremy. How are you?
Thanks for being here, Jeremy.
Thank you. And can I just say that I'm glad that there was a lot of distance between speaking of punchlines and because I didn't know how that was going to be.
I actually thought that was your intro, too.
Speaking of punchlines, here's Jeremy.
And look who's here, the head joke of them all.
Right,
No, we're not doing any of that.
No, but I appreciate the distance. It's okay.
No, we're glad you're here. I'm a fan of your work, man.
Well, thank you.
I love the stuff that you send us all the time. You doing good? You staying busy? You playing a bunch? What are you doing?
It's going to be really busy next month, January. There are a couple things going on. First of all, the Drip Edges have an EP coming out. It's going to be Friday, January 10th.
Yeah.
And did I send that to you already?
No,
I didn't.
I
Okay.
did not have that.
It's called Kicking the Tires on the Clown Car.
Oh, nice.
Love that.
And it can mean whatever you want it to mean. As well as the 6 songs therein can mean whatever you want them to mean.
Yeah.
But we are going to be commemorating this with a show, where is it? At the Lamplighter that night, Friday the 10th.
Right on.
With Josephus and the George Jonestown
Oh, that's
Massacre.
a show right there.
yeah.
With Hail Maria.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're looking forward to playing with both bands that night. The weekend before, Actually, Friday the 3rd, which happens to be my wife Lauren's birthday. And
It's my birthday as well.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, damn. Okay. Well, we've got a party for you.
Yeah, we
already.
got a
Check
party,
it out.
yes.
You like Doug Sahm at all?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, we have a tribute, kind of. I hate using that word tribute, but
Well.
a bunch of us are getting together and playing the music of Doug Sahm, and this was something that Lauren really kind of was like, I'd love you to do this, put together, the show for my birthday,
Right.
and one of the first people I thought of was Will Sexton, because obviously he's from that neck of the woods.
Yes.
Knows guys who played with Doug and all that. It's all part of that family.
Yeah.
So Doug contacted some people from Texas who are coming up, in addition to a whole bunch of people who are going to be playing with us. People look like Alex Green,
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Davis,
Oh, Lord, yes.
and Steve Selvage,
Yeah.
Krista Roten,
I love her, yeah.
a whole bunch of people. There's like about 12 people potentially involved. So there's that herding cats element to it.
Oh, yeah. Those are the best kind of shows.
For sure. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yeah, we're just starting to get together and going through everything this
Right.
week. So and it's tough because of the holidays, but I think we're going to pull it out. So
Oh, it'll be fine.
that's B-side Friday, January 3rd.
That's a great room, too.
It is a really good room. And we're playing a show in Little Rock at the Whitewater Tavern the next night. So if you are listening to this and you are in the Little Rock area, your Saturday night is planned out for you, and you're welcome.
That's awesome. That'll be a big night.
Yeah. So there's several things going on.
We when you get a hole in your schedule, get a hold of Mr. Caldwell over here.
I think
Mark,
we've already
and
done
you
that.
working out a
I think
release here.
Yeah, we potentially the 6th. It's just a matter of trying to figure out if everybody else can do it. I can do it.
Sure.
So just plan on me being here, but I'm trying to get everybody in so maybe we can play a few tunes.
That'd be great. You and I can sit here and bitch about anything we want to, or have the band in here and add them to
sure.
the mix and have them.
Do you
play.
feel restricted as to what you can bitch about right now?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many things to bitch about.
Yeah, there is.
We have
The list is nearly endless.
We have an abundance of riches, I think, at the moment.
Yes, we do. Monica, do you remember the story we did about the
That's too much
judge that ruled that boneless chicken wings at Buffalo Wild Wings could also contain bones?
Yes.
Well, there's an update.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, there was. It was appealed. And the judge said, no, I'm standing by what I said. Boneless wings may contain bones.
That's not by definition what boneless wings are. No.
That's typically how we look at it, yes.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering whether it was chicken in the first place, so maybe this kind of helps.
Maybe. That's not chicken.
Are we talking bone fragments or just full-on bones?
I think it was any definition of bone.
Well, it came to light because the case was about someone who ordered boneless chicken wing, but because they were deboned in the kitchen and not freezer and nuggeted, it was actually deboned in the kitchen.
Nuggeted.
Yeah, I like
That's
making
amazing. That's a great word.
I like
It's
making up
nuggeted.
new
I think
words.
deboned in the kitchen might be my next record.
But no, so
Wasn't that like trapped in the closet, boned in the kitchen? Is that the sequel?
Yeah.
I feel parallels could be drawn.
Sure.
But yeah, no, she so the customer bit into it and didn't she do something dental?
She lost a crown, I think,
Yeah, something, and so she was suing for that.
of which she probably swallowed.
Oh God. Yeah, so that's how it all came about, and so this judge declared that just because you order boneless wings doesn't mean they're going to be boneless.
Necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
There is an indication there could be a risk to the buyer that there's a partial bone or bones in the.
Right. I say just stay away from chicken wings unless you're going to make them
You could
yourself.
stay away from Buffalo Wild Wings, actually.
Yeah. And speaking of partial bones,
Yeah, really. Or getting boned in the kitchen, for that matter.
Here's Jeremy.
that's what
See,
Had to. Sorry.
You knew where I was
it's
going.
in the contract.
it's a cavalcade of entertainment tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
A landslide for your home entertainment center. Was that Firesign Theater?
Firesign, I think it was,
Yeah,
yes.
40 Great Unclaimed Melodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, since this is a somber occasion, can I ask you a more serious question?
Sure.
Graham was telling me about making the record, and I'm just curious, about you guys' process for doing this one and how it might have been different than Bear Grease.
Well, the solo record, which you were very familiar with, was just me and Graham. And
do you wish you had called that the Drip Edges now in hindsight?
No, because it's a totally different thing.
Okay.
The album was actually supposed to be more acoustic than it wound up being. So it was kind of edging a little bit more toward rock without really kind of getting there, like a mathematical limit almost. And what we did afterward was I guess you could say reverse engineered a band, because we got Noel Clark and Mitchell Manley to play guitar and bass, and then it became a full-fledged band. And then the stuff I was writing once they joined was really, there were some things I had ready to go, and then there's some things that I wrote afterward, kind of writing, knowing who was in the band and trying to write to people's strengths and also make it a little more rock. So this EP is definitely more rock oriented than the album was, and it's also got everybody has some pretty strong contributions, even though I'm the songwriter. So everybody really contributed in a very excellent way.
Still done in Graham's garage?
It was done in his
which is a very legitimate studio. I don't say garage in any derogatory way.
The Subteens album is done there. Right? You did the Subteens album there. Yeah.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a different back house than he had when we did the album, but he knows how to manipulate all that stuff. We've got everything set up, got amps in there. We did as much live as we could, because I like to just do as much live as possible to make it sound. If you're doing a rock thing, I feel like a lot of that, the basic tracks, you want to keep as live as possible. If it's not really a rock thing and it's different, then that's fine. But I just feed off the energy of the other people you're playing with in the room. Is how I look at it.
For sure. And it's a great room. I love making music in there. I haven't heard it yet either, even though Graham has spoken very well of it.
I thought I sent you a link.
You might have.
I'll send both of you a link.
I get a lot of links, man.
Yeah, right.
I get a lot of links over here, man.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't anymore, really.
Well, we can get you onto some lists.
Yeah. List me up, everybody.
All right.
All right. Well, listen, fellas, I'm going to take a break here. When we come back, Jeremy, you're gonna play a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited.
I am thrilled too. I'm a Twitter over it. It's all up next about the break.
Get off of Twitter, man.
She's the one she's all in there right now.
Yeah, I do all the social media.
She's the social media queen. All right, it's all coming up next here at Radio Memphis. Don't run away.
Okay. This song is on the EP. Let's see. Hopefully I know the lyrics to this one. This one's called Dirty Sound. Watching all the wreckage out on Highway 23, thinking about the changes to the guy I try to be. Not so quick to anger, that don't mean that you should try. Searching for a song that isn't gonna make me cry. And if there's a town that could take me in my dirty sound, I'd be gone, solid gold. In this bill of ashes, I think I know the game. Stick around, a round or two, might even change your name. I just get so anxious when I feel that I'm not heard. I'd blow up a city block for 50 column words. There's a town that could take me in my dirty sound. I'd be gone, solid gone. Just a child, she once told me, didn't know just what she meant. Just a child. Now there's voices in my head and they say, would you trade that sentiment for something not so adolescent? Once I get them moving, they won't gather where I went. Use my cheapest compliments to throw them off the scent. There's no sense in mourning all the things I don't possess. I came in here with no friends and I'm leaving out with less. And if there's a town that could take me in my dirty sound, I'd be gone,
solid gold. I'd be gone, 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 solid gold. Yeah, I'd be gone, 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 truly solid gold.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I liked it better without the amp.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, the ship wasn't involved in it on that, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Jeremy and the ships. No, I feel duty
Slip
bound.
edges.
I feel duty bound at this stage to remind everyone if they wanted to donate to Room in the Inn Memphis,
Yeah.
which is a homeless charity here in town that does tremendous work. Just go to ritimemphis.org.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, very, very cool.
But I'll be reminding folks throughout the evening, perhaps annoyingly.
Well, that's the whole thing about when you feel like you're being annoying, you haven't scratched the surface.
I hear that is true, actually. But, I also, sometimes, when people are a little too overzealous with things, especially on social media, it can be exhausting.
It can be.
So I'm going to try to toe the line between exhausting and a little bit annoying.
That's a good balance to hit if you can get there.
But
Yeah.
it is. It is a nice balance, that's for sure. And
So ritimemphis.org.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I've also shared everything too on
Yeah.
the socials. So between you and I, we can find that happy medium between exhausting and annoying.
Yes. That's the Back to the Light slogan.
There
well,
you
that's
go.
the way it works. God, your show's been on the how many years have you been doing Back to the Light shows?
I've been doing it since the pandemic. It's really it's been this past year I did it on a monthly basis because I was really investing in putting out I've been producing other shows as well.
Yeah.
You Look Like, which is Katrina Coleman's podcast. Allison MacArthur's podcast, Loudmouth of the South. Marvin Stockwell's podcast, Champions of the Lost Causes. I've been running all three of those in addition to mine. So mine had to take a little bit of a step back in order to, facilitate all that other stuff. But it's been a fun, crazy year of putting out a lot of podcasts.
They're hard work, aren't they?
We've got it down to a pretty good rhythm, I think.
Yeah.
But I hesitate to call it work, but it's it requires effort.
It does. Like mine, I tend to phone it in at times. But you tend to do yours.
Not right now, though. Of
No,
course.
well, this is
No.
Maybe. You do live shows though. Do you actually go to places and string mics and
Yeah, I have been known. I'm crazy enough. We do a thing called the Not Too Late Night Talk Show,
Yes.
which we've done at the Green Room in Crosstown Arts, and we've done it at the Memphis Listening Lab, and maybe next year we'll do it some other places. I'm also thinking of just taking it to like a guest's house and just like setting up a desk at like someone's house.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Or I
that
don't
would
know,
be
in
kinda
just
cool,
in random locations that aren't necessarily public shows.
Yeah. Who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you doing a talk show in this parking lot?
Right.
I don't know. I'm still workshopping that idea though. We'll see.
Great. Speaking of us of a charity here tonight, 43rd annual Back to the Light Radio Memphis Holiday Telethon, benefiting Room in the Inn. Lovely cause.
Very much so. This time of year, I think, of course, it's the holiday spirit of giving, as they say, and all that stuff, and that's fine.
Sure.
But it's also just really cold outside.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
So,
cold.
Room in the Inn does really, really important work, especially at this time of year when it's really cold.
It's going to get even colder.
Yeah.
And we've
I
had
mean,
a lot
we've
of
really
rain
just scratched
and
the
weather.
surface of cold.
Yeah, so far from Memphis, that is for sure. Now, do they? Now I know there's ways to donate.
Yes.
on the
I've
website?
posted links on Facebook. You can find links at backtothelight.net, which is my website. You can just go straight to Room in the Inn, ritimemphis.org, and donate. There's a link. It's practically the first thing you see on their website.
Yeah, and I just shared to my story with a donate button. So, because I just
Amazing.
donated.
Well, there you go. There you go. Nice
so
job,
y'all,
Monica.
Y'all need to donate.
Cha-ching. I wish we had one of those boards.
Right.
Where we could
a
update
bell
it.
and somebody with a marker filling it in.
Eric, go get it. Someone go buy us a bell.
Somebody buy us a bell.
Get us a bell.
We
We need a...
It's the 43rd annual holiday telethon with Back to the Light at Radio Memphis. Here, bringing you a cavalcade of entertainment.
I know it was hard for you to land on that number because it's been a blur. They're really the previous 42 have been something of a blur.
You know, it is. It's impressive how you blink and time passes. or like with here, we've been on the air for a while, and I'll blink and I'll go, I'm still here.
That's what's important.
This is still happening.
You just have to be present. Be in the moment.
Try and live in the moment and have a decent time with it.
Feel the spirit.
There's a man in here we know pretty well.
There's a strange man in here.
Mr. Marvin Stockwell is here.
What is up?
I'm just happy holidays, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
glad to be
happy
here.
holidays. Yeah.
Here at Radio Memphis, it doesn't seem like I was here. It seems like it's just a few weeks ago.
See what I mean by that?
A couple of weeks.
It could have been yesterday for all we knew.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh man, if I'd have known about this, I usually have a radius clause for my events.
Radius.
You should have told me.
Well, we kind of do around here. I mean,
I think it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was actually a couple.
Oh, that's
months
okay
ago.
then.
So, okay.
30
Contractually.
30-day radius.
How's everything in Pezz land, sir?
Doing well. We're not that active, but we played the High Tones 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
And we managed to practice here and there. And we've got next spring we're going to go down to Oxford and play Punker Decker, which is the punk rock version of the Double Decker Music Fest in Oxford.
Yeah, Punker Decker, yeah.
Yeah, our friend John Rash is going to have us down for the Punk Rock Flea Market and Punker Decker as part of that festival. So,
that'd be great.
Yeah. Other than that, we don't have anything on the books, but we're having fun.
Well, I know you're particularly busy. You've got the Bevo thing.
Indeed. We're working hard down on Mud Island to create a Bevo and bring it forth. And not only create the stuff, but, get those deep pockets to write us a big check. That's the big challenge.
Last time we spoke, you had an event where it was kind of open a little bit, and the Baron himself, did he make an appearance?
He did make an appearance here and there, but but as soon as we thought you there he is, he blipped out and he was back, lost in the multiverse again.
I see.
Yeah, but no, we had a rock and romp, a successful rock and romp
That's what it was,
there.
yes, rock and
Hope
romp.
Claiborne's Soul Scrimmage played. It was awesome.
She's fun. Yes.
Yeah. So we've had a couple of activations of the space, and now we're just. Old man Reyes is just still building it out, and we're trying to raise those dollars so that we can hire up that phalanx of artists
To push through.
push the pedal to the floor.
Yeah.
Rick, have you taken the tour recently?
I have not.
No,
Gotta have
we
y'all
need
out.
to.
I need
Yeah,
to
we
come
need to
see
come and
see
see
it.
Okay, we're doing it.
When was the last time you were in the Mud Island Museum as it was?
I used to live on Mud Island itself, outside of Harbortown, there at the Arbors, and I think it was at that time, and that was nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't been there since the 80s. I was a kid. It was like a family thing that we would always do, go to the museum.
Oh, yeah, I used to love going in there. And in the later days, I used to attempt to bring dates there. But, that was like my weird idea of like
A first date?
yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking, honestly.
You lucky ladies,
Terrible
you.
Memphian. I actually had never been there.
Oh.
I was 7th grade. Marvin was at Mud Island on opening weekend with his family.
Yes.
But I'd never been to the museum. So one of the kind of like ancillary blessings really was just getting to spend some time in the museum.
Yeah.
Before we had a sprinkler pipe burst that had us cut out all the drywall and stuff. So there was a good several months that I was able to really appreciate the history that the museum really took you through.
See, to me, the museum was always like the crown jewel of the experience. I was not an outdoor type as a kid. So, I mean, once you see the plane and you look at the water and the concrete for a few minutes, if you're like me, you're ready to go back and play on the boat some more.
Right.
Exactly. The good news is we're going to take those boats, and they're not going to be floating in water. They're going to be traveling a wormhole in the multiverse.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I
So,
can't wait to see that.
so we're excited.
Yeah.
As we stretch out and look at the rest of the kind of like immersive experience economy, really.
Yeah.
Most of those experiences seek out cheap real estate, and usually that's an empty Target or Kmart.
Yeah.
Or in an empty strip mall. We've been given access to a really purpose-built, unique space that's built as a museum. It's kind of already immersive by design. It's already
iconic, really,
disorienting.
yes.
And there are 2 giant boats in there.
Yes. And I'm
So-
glad you got a chance to save those.
Yeah, because, I mean, what else are you going to do? The cost to, break those boats apart and take them out would be
Yeah.
prohibitive. You
Firewood.
better damn well do something with them, Rick.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Can I tee this up for you, Marv?
Yeah.
For those who may not be aware of what we speak about Bevo,
Yeah, yeah.
Baron Von Opperbean.
Let me back up a step.
Yeah, for what? Tell us what it is and what is an immersive experience museum in the first place?
Sure. So a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't even know what an immersive experience is." Well, okay, if you've been to the Harry Potter, Universal, is it Universal?
It may be.
Whatever Harry Potter is. If you've been to that, or if you've been to any of the Star Wars where you got to talk to stormtroopers.
The last theme
That's
park I was at
immersive.
was Liberty Land.
Wow.
Well,
Hey,
okay, that was maybe
that was
immersive
cool
back
stuff,
in the
man.
day.
Yeah.
But if it's something that takes you out of your reality and transports you to another world, it's immersive. A lot of people know about the Van Gogh traveling immersive art experience. Meow Wolf is another good example. Otherworld.
The one in St. Louis.
The City Museum in St. Louis is a great example of an immersive experience. Kind of an old world, like all physical immersive experience. So really what Bevo is, Baron Von Opperbean in the River of Time, is really a cross between the immersive art gallery Meow Wolf experience meets the immersive playground of the City Museum. But with a digital layer and a gaming layer, it's like an open world video game, except you're walking around a physical space.
You're actually in it.
You're actually in it, and your experience is extended by screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a choose your own adventure essentially.
And you can, I assume, you can affect your experience by the choices you make throughout the museum and
exactly
stuff like that.
And in fact, each path that you may take has unique value, and you might need to solve a certain puzzle, get a certain code, collect a certain digital item.
There's an object to it.
You'll need it later on in the experience.
Yes.
If you don't have it, you'll have to double back.
It's like an escape room you can't get out of.
It's like an escape room on steroids.
There you go.
For the uninitiated. If you've ever been to an escape room, imagine
South Main
an
has
escape
one,
room.
It's the Mark
times
McGuire
10,000.
of
Yes.
escape rooms,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like if an escape room is like, elementary school basketball, Bevo is like the NBA Finals.
The thing is, that when you go through it and you survive the experience, if they don't have you killed off, well, it's like a video game. It happens. You leave there with not just the experience, but with a little bit of knowledge. About
exactly.
something.
And you might have to come back because you didn't solve it all the first time.
Yeah, there could be different outcomes, so you have to go back and play it different ways.
There are going to be, daily challenges. If you go to the Dragon Ship room one day, you might have an undersea voyage. Another day, you might have an interstellar voyage.
I'm here for
And when
all
you're
of it.
comparing notes with your classmates at school, and you talk about your undersea voyage where you saw the underwater volcano, your friend might not know what you're talking about.
Guess what you have to do? Go back.
Go back.
Go back.
Yeah.
Go back, yeah. Meow Wolf is not so good at the repeat. Like, I'm not sure I'd need to go to Meow Wolf Denver again.
Shots fired.
But yeah. But the City Museum, you better believe, if we're in St. Louis, we're going to the City Museum.
Now, if I recall, Meow Wolf is kind of like this. There's part of it that's like a really bizarre grocery store type environment that you go into, and there's like really bizarre products and strange labeling that you're sort of sucked into.
Yeah, Meow Wolf's the Vegas location.
That's the one.
Omega Mart.
Omega Mart, yes.
Is the crazy tweaked
Mega Mart,
grocery
yes,
store.
Yes.
The one in Grapevine, Texas, is the really tweaked mall.
I got you.
So Meow Wolf is definitely the kind of like sector leader. They were 15 years ago. They were,
But that's a straight up art exhibit, really.
In a lot of ways. I mean, 15 years ago, they were on the outside looking in of the Santa Fe art scene as a bunch of 20 and 30 somethings that people totally didn't take seriously. And 15 years later, they're sitting atop a $1 billion company.
And now Bevo, in the meantime, takes art and practicality, knowledge of just general education, and throws you into this world to see what certain things are like.
That's an excellent way to describe it. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's what we're building.
That's what you're building.
And at what stage in the process of building it would you say you're in?
We have raised about $150,000 of what I would call seed capital. And we've built out about 4 rooms out of the 33,000 square foot space that we've been given access to. We've got a long way to go is the short answer.
How many more rooms you got left, you think?
A lot.
Like with 2? I mean,
Well, you're doing this in phases, too.
We're doing this in phases. We're looking to open phase 1 this summer or early this fall.
Yeah.
And there, like I said, there are 2 boats in there, 1 boat per phase.
Okay.
The old steamboat is in phase 1. The Civil War ironclad, phase 2.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're working hard, and there's a lot of civic enthusiasm because people want to see Mud Island come back from the dead.
Yes.
But that same thing, the flip side of that coin is is civic doubt over whether Mud Island can come back from the dead because it's been allowed to languish for so long.
Well, and yeah, you want to make it sustainable, so it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
So I guess it comes to a point where you have to kind of sort of refresh as you move along.
Well,
add new stuff, take out old stuff.
I have every confidence that we could thrive even if we were somewhat alone on the island. I say somewhat because Mahogany Restaurant is already open and excellent.
Yes.
Shout out Mahogany. But yes, do I hope that there's a wider plan for the island that's a well thought through plan?
Sure.
Yes, and do I hope I can't share everything I know, but
And of
suffice
course.
it to say that there might be
There might be
a
some
wider
stuff in there.
plan for the island that might.
That's a
really
much
love
bigger
us.
picture than what you're dealing with now. You're
But
just trying to get to the
these
summer.
aren't the droids you're looking for, Rick. I can't tell you.
I understand completely.
So,
Totally.
so when is
Yeah.
the monorail going to be up and running again? I think that's what most people
That
wanna
is the
know.
million-dollar question, is it not? My friend Jody Callahan, who just went full-time with the Daily Memphian, has filed a story on the monorail. It has not yet published, so watch for that.
Oh my.
Watch for that in your Daily Memphian. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of insider knowledge on the monorail. I will say I've heard stories both ways. I've heard somebody say, well, it ought to be simple. It's a wheel, right? Like, get some stuff in there.
It's a wheel.
Get some solar panels in there. So I've heard that, but I've also heard people say, yeah, that has a 60s design that's very unique and you could never find the parts.
Right.
So I don't know whether the monorail's coming back.
I can imagine there's not an active monorail parts
Right.
factory.
Store, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I could wave a magic wand, would I like to see a monorail back? Sure.
I mean,
Same thing with the amphitheater, right? That's the other inevitable question that the people, it's irresistible. You can't not ask it, right?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
I get asked
especially you
about
guys
it,
could
yeah.
use the monorail. Could be like a portal into your little world,
Oh, yeah. No, and even in the interim, like if we have to have some type of transport up on the walkway, those can be actors in character too that are part of the Baron's world. So yeah, I think we can do all sorts of fun stuff with that. But what happens with the monorail is definitely not under our control.
I get asked a bit about what my thoughts are on the amphitheater, the Mud Island Amphitheater, and what happened to it.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different thing, and there was a lot of politics involved, and it got really messy and weird, and
It got flooded.
it got flooded.
It's not up to standards for what touring bands these days expect.
And
Right.
the industry itself had changed so much as far as ticketing and things like that. And there's that whole issue with parking and transport into and out of the place. I've seen a few shows there, and it's a great place. But
Sure.
by God, they're going to have to spend a couple of million just to make it a little bit more feasible to make it a thing now.
No, that's right. And the blocking and tackling of parking is absolutely something that other people besides me
Yeah.
are going to have to worry about. But I will say this, in my 10 plus years at this point of working on the Coliseum, people want to see the Coliseum open. When you ask a similar question about the Mud Island Amphitheater, people are like, I'd be totally happy with a different amphitheater
Yeah.
built, a bigger, better amphitheater. I
I
have
mean,
yet
there kind
to
of
run,
is one in South Haven. But
yeah.
Yeah,
There's one over here.
I've
not
yet to
far
run
from
into
here,
somebody who says, "Give me the Mud Island Amphitheater restored, or I'm not coming."
Right.
Like, I
right.
haven't
Yeah.
met that person yet. They're like, if you give me an amphitheater experience and it's on the river and has that same view, I'm into it. Whether it's a new one or the old one refurbished.
Right.
Well, you brought up the Coliseum. What? I've heard different talks about that from various luminaries in town who said that part of the big problem is that if they go to restore it and they have to take the asbestos out, they have to do the abatement and clear it
Yeah.
out. That's nearly as expensive as tearing the damn thing down.
Let me dispel that myth right now.
Yeah.
The asbestos in the Coliseum is actually quite minimal. Our own assessment, when I say our, the Coliseum
Right.
Coalition,
Right.
our own assessment showed that it's actually quite minimal. The Coliseum is in excellent structural shape.
Mm-hmm.
The city's own assessment corroborated that. So the Coliseum is going to open or not open, really not have any. I mean, I think that's a red herring. The whole asbestos thing, that's not a major
Yeah.
issue.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but all sorts of things get
I think
bandied about.
the ADA thing is really the bigger deal, right?
Yes, but I mean, you're going to need to right-size the Coliseum anyway. So architect Chooch Pickard, which led our assessment in 2016, has a plan, that widens the aisles, which takes out rows of seats. It creates a path around the circle, around the top to the press boxes that wheelchairs can travel upon. That's going to eliminate several rows full of chairs. I mean, it gets you quickly down to 4,900 fixed seats, or between 6,500 and 7,200 seats once floor seating is once you consider that.
That's a lot, though.
Yeah.
It is a lot, but you know what? It's the hole in the market that the Memphis market is missing. Live Nation has been a lot's been written about Live Nation being in town. They just they're just announced plans to open up this venue in Crosstown. It's my sense that is their kind of opening ante in Memphis. They have it's made it into the press that Live Nation looked at the Mud Island Amphitheater.
Yeah.
But what's less known, although not completely secret, is that they also looked at the Coliseum. So I think that the difference between the Coliseum and the amphitheater obviously is that it's indoor seating, and that's what we really lack. We lack an indoor arena.
Yeah, that's not as big like the FedEx.
That's mid-size.
Yeah,
that's mid-size.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's
6,500.
why the Memphis Hustle have to play in South Haven.
That's right. So imagine if the Memphis Hustle played at the Coliseum. Quite frankly, I think people would freak out.
Hell, you could bring hockey back, and I know that the River Kings got sold to somewhere, so even South Haven lost.
And they just shut it down because they can make more money otherwise. We had when we had Roundhouse Revival, we had the Memphis River Kings break out all the Memphis River Kings memorabilia.
Yeah.
They were mobbed all day. Yeah, actually, people talk about music, wrestling, and basketball, and that's true. That's huge, but hockey's huge too. Actually.
Hockey is a big thing. Back in our early days here at Radio Memphis, we used to telecast. We used to broadcast the games. Mm-hmm. We worked out a deal, and we were broadcasting the games, and people were tuned in from all over.
They love it.
Hockey fans were they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. The Coliseum, and I live right there by it, and I drive by it every day. And I don't think of it as well, what a waste, But I see it as I wish we could just do a little bit more to get it right, even if we have to sacrifice a few seats, like what you're saying,
Yeah, it's completely restorable, and I have high hopes for the Coliseum, even though it's really not my central project anymore. There's a Coliseum Conservancy, which is a different organization from the Coliseum Coalition. That's really taken the baton from us, and that's allowed me to really focus on Mud Island. So day to day, I'm really more focused on Mud Island, but I still have not lost hope.
Lost the love for the Coliseum.
No, I love the Coliseum.
And bring back Liberty Land while you're at it, by God.
Oh wow, I think that's
or bring back the phone in some way. That's what people want, really.
Yeah, then the kids in Green Bay don't know the love of the Zip and Pippin that we have.
Dismantle the Pippin and bring it home.
Bring it home. We should have a raffle.
I don't think that'll happen, but I love that.
Yeah.
Well, just
and it is Christmas, right? It's Christmas season.
And if we still, we have Scottie Pippen Jr. playing for the Grizzlies now. If we still had the Zip and Pippen, there'd just be such an obvious tie-in opportunity.
That's great.
I had not thought about
It'd be so amazing.
Yeah. He's playing good too, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
Forget about this jog.
Speaking of, the whole reason why we're here is to raise a couple of bucks for kids over at the Room in the Inn.
Yeah.
It's a great facility.
Room in the Inn.
Yeah, they're good people over there, and they provide an interesting service that more and more cities should provide.
Yeah, I was just checking out their website.
Yeah, what'd you find? What'd you learn?
Oh, all kinds of things. They have a congregational shelter, and then they have recuperative care center and a family inn.
Well, isn't that nice?
They're also sponsoring a program where they're helping build what do they call those mini homes for people?
Tiny homes.
Tiny homes.
Okay.
Yeah. They've got a whole new subdivision of that's building tiny homes for people now. It's great. They're doing so many amazing things.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, we used to do Room in the Inn at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception.
Yes.
Essentially, it's a process by which a faith congregation of whatever type can say, we're going to open up our facilities to people who are experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
And make room in the inn. I mean, that's the meaning behind the
Instead
name.
of having them sit unused.
Yeah. Why have the buildings be empty? Let's give folks a place to stay.
I've heard
sure.
There's another faith-based operation that has something similar but much smaller for not teenagers, not adults that are in marginal situations. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a dangerous family environment, or so, and a place for them to go to be safe. You know, even if it's for just a few nights or whatever the case.
It's a multifaceted problem. In fact, I just came from Christmas caroling at the Dorothy Day House. That's another part of the solution, you know. It's a homeless shelter for intact families, you know. So, incredible nonprofit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's not about one nonprofit or doing all the stuff. It's about all the different players doing a piece of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
And Room in the Inn's a huge part.
Yes.
Glad to be a part.
RITIMemphis.org.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
give.
Yeah, please.
You can do it online at their website over there, and we thank them for allowing to have their program being put on the air here, which we're doing now. At least we're attempting. I think
We're doing right by him, I think.
I think we're
Rick.
thinking
Yeah.
it's going
Don't
okay,
worry
you
about
know.
it. We're doing good.
We're doing good. Yes. It is the season, and a lot of people are out there with their hands out, saying, "Hey, help me out, help me out." And you know, you kind of vote with your dollar in a way. You know, you have to be judicious in whatever situation that you're in. But imagine yourself in the position that some people have to find themselves with no place to go.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, a lot of us are just, I'm fortunate to have family to fall back on.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, it's a great luxury, but not everyone has that.
Well, you've also got this group, this outfit, this Pezz thing's been around for a minute or two. You can always fall back on those.
That's true, yeah.
You can
That's
crash
so
on Ceylon
lucrative.
Mooney's couch.
Yeah. No, I could go sleep on Ceylon's couch.
Yeah,
I
he's
absolutely
that
need
kind of
to.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely could.
Absolutely. Marvin, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
it
This
was
has
great
been
to
Thanks,
fun.
see
Marv.
you.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Keep us posted with the updates on Bevo and whatever we
We'll
can
do
do to
it.
help you out. We're here for you, man.
Fantastic. Thank you
And-
so much.
And I know Monica has a bunch of stuff she wants to get to you, and we'll figure out a way to get to you.
We're going to make that happen.
Yeah,
by
we'll
golly.
make
I was
it.
so
We got
And we
time.
got to get y'all out for a tour.
I
Yeah,
do.
I would love
All right,
that.
we're doing it.
We'll definitely do
Cool.
it. Marvin Stockwell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We will
Yes.
pause here and
Thanks,
be back
Al.
with more of the festivities here at Radio Memphis and this holiday edition of the program and holiday telethon, if you will. Although I still lack to understand tele part of it, but there we are. Yeah, we do the cameras.
Look,
You're fine.
Stop beating me up over this.
It's
Rick,
working.
Please.
It's
I'm not.
working. You're fine.
We've done it for 42 years, for by God's sake.
I know
We'll
you're
figure
bringing this up now.
Yeah,
43 years into it.
We'll make it happen. We'll do it. We'll do the right thing, even if it's wrong. It's all up next. Also, coming up later on
So
tonight,
wrong,
don't miss
it's
it.
right.
The Subteens will be on here before long.
Yeah.
So you'll want to stay tuned for that. And here in a bit, Dustin, Starr, along with Big John Dalton.
Yep.
Gonna
They're here.
throw it down in here.
Well, they're going to talk
I
to
hope
us.
not. But we're
I know
gonna-
they're
we're
going to talk to
have
us.
a nice friendly.
Over there.
We're gonna
please.
cut a. We're gonna have a nice friendly
Off the top
chat.
rope.
In there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, wrestling,
Ding.
right?
Yeah, you
Right,
got
right,
it.
There you
right.
go.
Nailed it.
It's perfect. It's all coming up next here at Radio Memphis. Don't run away. Yeah, everybody wants a little bit of Christmas, they say.
Yes, but we got some new people in the room.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Yeah.
I'm just sharing on the Facebook right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're broadcasting on Facebook, the Radio Memphis Facebook page, and at our website at radio-memphis.com. And that's being recorded for the Back to the Light stuff that they're gonna.
Yeah, we're
release
gonna
later.
do sort of a greatest hits cut
Nice.
after the fact.
I was just looking at the back of my head. It does not look like John Cena, so that's cool.
Oh,
Seen that?
is that a bald spot joke?
Yeah, that
We
was.
could-
Okay.
the mixed
For wrestling,
break- the
for
mixed
non-wrestling
break.
fans out there,
break.
bald spot joke.
JD, who are these guys? Who do we have in here?
Well, these are my friends from Memphis Wrestling. We've got the founder of Memphis Wrestling and the host, Dustin Starr.
Oh, that sounded weird to hear.
You may also know him from Memphis Grizzlies games and Memphis
Yes.
Redbird games and all kinds of stuff. And then we've also got Big John Dalton, who was the Rookie of the Year last
All
year.
right, look
Memphis
out.
Wrestling, a former
Yes.
tag team champion with Buff Bagwell.
Right on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. Thanks, guys, for coming in. How are things in the wrestling world?
Things are awesome. They're a lot of fun. Oh
Yeah?
my gosh, we sold out our last 2 shows of 2024,
Oh, good.
and we're looking ahead to 2025. January the 5th is our first event. It's our live TV taping featuring Insane Clown Posse member Violent J.
Oh my God, how did you make that happen?
I have no idea. No idea.
Make some phone calls, did you?
Man, this one was kind of strange. Like, we've had so many of these stars come in over the last, 4 or 5 years doing the Memphis Wrestling that when I reached out, and of course I was a juggalo growing up, knew all the songs by heart. I had one pair of Jinkos, believe it or not, and my hair was like down past my chin. So I'm a fan. So when I reached out, he was familiar with us because he's into the wrestling business as well. So he's like, hey, I totally know you guys. I'd love to come.
Right on.
And then also the history of Memphis wrestling, just saying the term Memphis wrestling is like, wait a second. I remember everybody came through here.
Yeah.
And so now what we're trying to do is you never know who might be here. So Violent
That's
J.
cool.
So we bring in some of the top stars that were really popular, back in the day, and then also the ones that are on national television now. And then we also have our training facility where that's where Big John Dalton, he's 18 years old. He's been with us for a couple of years now.
You're 18?
Yes, sir.
When monkey's flat on my ass, you are.
I know.
Jesus,
I know now. I know
guy.
why I got stopped when I was trying to get him a beer.
beer
I was
for
just
you.
trying to be hospitable. I had no idea.
You
My
can't give
bad.
it. I got moonshine here. Come on.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
Only 18, but weren't you the man of the year in your hometown or home county
I
or
was
something?
voted 2024 this year, Man of the Year in my hometown in Union County, Mississippi.
Right
Look
on.
out.
Congratulations,
There you
man.
go.
I appreciate that.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Wow.
I remember Dalton and his dad. Big shout out to Big Daddy. They came and saw me and my wife wrestling.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea at an early age meeting him, and then he started growing up.
Yeah.
Joined the training center. I think the year before he helped us raise over $15,000 for St. Jude. This year over $19,000 for St. Jude.
Right on.
He also coaches Little League basketball. He's on the Ingomar baseball team out in New Albany. So
Right on.
I don't know how he has time for the wrestling, but I'm trying to sing his praises. He's all over doing great stuff.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's really cool. What led you into the wrestling ring, my boy?
My dad, and if you want to know the truth, and actually my dad's grandmother led him into wrestling.
Yeah.
And so he grew up on the Memphis Wrestling at the Coliseum, the Jerry Lawlers, the Bill
Yes.
Dundee. And so
Yeah.
whenever my dad would tell me these stories and show me this stuff, and then he took me to all the wrestling shows, when I'd meet Dustin and all the guys at the independent shows, I just was amazed by it, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, how can I do this?
Yeah.
And then Dustin brought Memphis Wrestling back to life, and then he started a training program, and then perfect timing right there, 15 years old, I took my first wrestling bump, and all thanks to Dustin, Starr, and my dad, honestly.
So
Awesome.
did your old man there teach you the little bit of the tricks of the trade? You just picked it up on your own and
So
some other
Big
wrestlers?
Daddy's just a die-hard wrestling fan.
Uh-huh.
You gotta see him. So if you come to the Wrestle Center and you see Memphis Wrestling live, Big Daddy's at the merch table.
Yes.
He's a super cool dude, but man, he just brought Dalton up watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And I assume he had to sign some sort of waiver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
He handled the paperwork and the money, and then I just went and got in the ring.
Where is the wrestling center for people that need to know?
It's at 3296 Winbrook Drive, so it's about 3 miles from the airport, and it looks like an office building. So if you drive by and you're looking for this big arena, it's kind of hidden.
Yeah.
But in the back is our arena. So we have 6,000 square feet, and if you remember back in the day, Memphis Wrestling was in a TV studio.
Yeah,
right.
That's
Yeah.
when I was
Channel 5, I
watching
believe.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go into Channel 5 where the ring used to be,
Yeah.
there is millions of dollars worth of equipment in there. There's no way they'd let us put a ring up and do all that. So when we realized that they wanted wrestling on television,
Yeah.
but they couldn't bring us in and produce it there,
Yeah.
we went and built our own. So we have
There you go.
6,000 square feet.
Good
called
for
the
you.
Memphis Wrestling Wrestle Center. You can get information at memphiswrestling.tv, but 6,000 square feet, heat, air, it's clean. It's almost like when you walk in, there's championship belts on the wall, there's action figures,
Yeah,
posters.
yeah.
It's like, it's a difference to me because I used to go to the TV studio and watch Memphis Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you were at a TV studio. But now the experience I feel like has changed because when you walk in, the whole thing is wrestling. Even
Yes.
the bathrooms are painted this big cartoon blue.
Oh, awesome.
With posters and stuff.
Right.
That's great.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's great. That's so cool. I need to come back and check it out.
Do it. Come
You
check it
absolutely
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
I work for Dustin as the ring photographer. I have a blast every time. Honestly, I've gotten to meet some absolute legends of Memphis wrestling. Jimmy Valiant is a big time memory. Getting
I
to
love
interview him, getting
fanboying
to
a
speak to
little
him.
Yeah.
sometimes it's like
I was
taboo not
shaking.
to. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, it's not cool if you do that, but I've got to give them at least one story.
Yeah.
Like you mean Violent J is going to come to Memphis Wrestling, and I can't tell him, hey, dude, I used to have a pair of Jinkos and drink Faygo. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I thought that was your Hardy Boys face.
Right. Or Joe Hendry is if you don't watch wrestling, you don't know who it is. But he's one of the most popular wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah.
And he was at the Wrestle Center a couple weeks ago, and it was incredible
It was bananas.
It was unbelievable, and for him to even be there was ridiculous because he's on national worldwide television with WWE.
Right.
But he made a stop in Memphis because he just heard so much about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It
That's
goes back to
really
that
cool.
moniker of having Memphis in your. That's why it's Radio Memphis. But Memphis Wrestling carries so much, pardon the pun, weight
Absolutely.
behind it. I mean, because a lot of talent has come through here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, still are too. We actually, a couple of weeks ago on Memphis Wrestling, I had the honor of handing over a WWE contract on television
Oh, wow.
to our 23-year-old, 6'5", 420-pound Memphis Heritage champion.
God, what a
Oh, wow.
unit.
No kidding, 23?
23.
Jeez, are you backstage or something, Rick?
Hey now.
You might know. You might not know.
But this is a big old boy. He can dive over the top rope to the floor as well. You know, at such a, you know, he can handle his weight. And I'm looking at Big John Dalton over 300 pounds here. You know, 18. This guy's
Yeah.
getting signed at 23. I mean, the future's really bright. If you're,
Yeah.
you got to work for it though.
Oh, sure.
Gotta
Oh, it's a
work
lot
for
of work. Yes.
It is definitely a lot of work.
I've over the years have struck up a pretty good relationship with Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry the King.
Work with the King at least once a year at the Grizzlies wrestling night.
Yeah, he's a dynamite cat. You know, and
Unbelievable that he's still going and doing the Comic Cons
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
He just
Absolutely.
loves it.
Yeah.
last I heard,
He
he
does.
may be having some type of knee surgery here before too terribly long.
I think he had a knee replacement. I can't remember. I think there were a couple of things because last time I saw him, his knee was bothering him. Was that what it was at the forum?
At the forum, it was his knee.
Yeah, he and I were talking. I said, "So you're just now having this done?" And he goes, "Oh, I was blessed with great knees."
Think about it. For many years, 30, 40 years, he never wore knee pads.
Never
Yeah,
did.
No,
Never
that's
wore knee
right.
pads.
Yeah.
And the padding on the ring, and if you guys can see on the TV, it's only like an inch and a half padding.
Yeah.
The rest
Right.
is
If
wood and
that.
steel. Yeah, some of these small independent shows might not even have padding on the ring. And what was his finishing move? He would dive off the middle
Yeah.
rope and do a punch and land right on his knees.
Yes, he did.
So
did,
30,
yeah.
40 years of
Wow.
jumping off the ropes,
Yeah.
landing on your knees with no knee pads. Are you kidding me? How did he not have to have surgery
Right.
before?
Yeah,
Right.
before.
He's like
at least
Iron
20
Man.
years before. you know.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I once saw an interview with Hogan where he said he wished he had picked a better finisher than landing on his ass
Good
like
point.
every single night.
The leg drop, I think he's had to
Yeah.
replace his hip.
Yeah.
Because of the
Oh,
leg drop
wow.
that he made
Yeah.
so much money with. And then also rumor that he says this, that he's lost a couple of inches on his height because of compressing his spine
Spine,
by
yeah.
landing on his tailbone.
That makes
so many
sense.
times.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's hard work. I have a lot of admiration for people that can get into the ring and do this. You know, for the entertainment of the crowd and and for their own selves.
One take.
Yeah,
One
one take.
take each time.
No rehearsals on that kind of
No.
thing.
BJD, do you put similar thought into like your move set? I mean, have you thought about like, am I still going to be able to do this when I'm 50 or whatever?
He jumps off the top rope
Yeah, I
right
was gonna
now.
say, I'll jump off the top rope and land on my knees too. So
300 pounds coming off the top rope?
yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's a
what I
lot.
say every time I go to do it. I'm like, do I really need to keep doing this? And then I still do it. So.
And earlier he was, we train on Mondays and Wednesdays, so we were at training before we came here.
Yeah.
And he was up on the top rope about to do a moonsault, which is a backflip off the top rope. And I'm like, wait a second, I got to video this.
Wow.
We gotta watch this. We're gonna make
Luckily,
this happen.
he chickened out this time, but he's working on it. Like, he's going to bust out a
Coming soon
moonsault
to
coming.
TV near you.
Look
Only on
out.
Memphis Wrestling you can see this.
Oof.
Look
So
out.
do you carry like replays of any of the bouts? You're running on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel?
Absolutely. All you do is type in Memphis Wrestling. We'll come right up at the top. You can watch every episode absolutely free in full. We even have a subscription, a members-only subscription, where you
Yeah.
can see behind-the-scenes stuff. This is the perfect week to be on your guys' radio program because this week is our milestone 200th episode.
Oh,
Jesus,
wow.
okay,
Very
that's
cool.
200 episodes.
Yes.
That's big. Yeah.
Now, growing up, there's only one Memphis Wrestling rendition that has more episodes than what we've had, so we're very proud of that. And that was the one we've been talking about, Lawler, Dundee,
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy Valiant, the old USWA. So we're very proud to have that longevity, and hopefully we'll just keep on rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
But episode 200 is this weekend.
Wow. Congratulations on that. for sure.
2025. You got anything that you can talk about? Yeah.
The first two events will be January 5th, so it's Sunday during the day. You can get tickets at memphiswrestling.tv. I know that it'll sell out because Violent J has not been to Memphis in a really long time.
Right.
And there was a big buzz.
So he's January 5th.
January 5th.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then January 26th, we've got our Super Bout, which is our anniversary.
Yeah.
So we'll celebrate 4 years, and we're working on a big guest to come out.
Right
on
on.
that one as well.
You can't tease that one on the radio, Dustin?
Well, I just got a text message on my way in, bro. So I don't know. Wrestling fans know what that means.
100
know what
episodes
that
a
is.
year. That's impressive.
That's something of a riddle,
Yeah.
I think.
That is a little bit of a riddle.
Yeah.
Could be,
Could
potentially.
be, could be.
But yeah, so we do 3 episodes at a time. When we have our TV taping,
Yeah.
we'll tape 3 episodes, and they're very easy to digest. Like, even the fans are really into knowing what's happening on these. They even they do wardrobe changes. The wrestling fans do wardrobe changes at the show.
Several
wow.
of the fans have different episodes for each of the 3
Yeah.
episodes that they tape.
They tailgate outside.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say, that's not even the craziest thing. They beat some of the wrestlers to the facility,
Yeah.
set up tailgate, grill, have a good old time, drink, carry on. Then by the time bell time in, they start rolling in, meet the people that we bring in that show, and then they're there from the time it starts to the time that it ends.
Oh, that's great.
It's a day-long party for some folks, for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
And of course, inside the facility, you got all the concessions, and you've got hot dogs and popcorn.
Call
and
it Slam
beer
and Snacks in the concessions, and then also Ghost River Brewing is in the house.
cool.
Oh, cool! I know
Yeah.
those people. Yes.
Absolutely, so you can drink some local beer while you're there too.
And you've done a couple of shows at Ghost River as well?
Yes, we've done live events. Actually, we've got, I think, roughly 31 dates for 2025, which is really awesome to have on the calendar this early, because a lot of the fundraisers and sporting events that we do, they've all already, dedicated that time and put us on the calendar.
Right.
So we'll add some more to that. But
Well, listen, guys. Over the time, as you go through this, as we go into next year, if there's anything that you need for us from Radio Memphis,
Yeah.
let us
That'd be
know.
awesome.
let's see. You were talking about maybe we could get you in the ring or something, right?
That's-
Versus JD. You could be in his
I'm out.
corner.
She's out. Guys, she's out.
I'm out.
Well, do me this favor if you can. Swing by one day.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Send me a text.
I would love to see
Even
it.
if you swing by for 20 minutes just to have a hot dog while you're watching. I mean, just the fans are absolutely amazing.
Cool.
It's so much fun.
That is one of the things about wrestling in general, is that the fans are so loyal and so dedicated to the things that you guys are doing.
I think it's easy to get caught up in it, even if you're not,
Oh, yeah.
fully aware of the storyline, of whatever
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be going on. Like, once you get in there and everybody's going nuts, it's really easy to just get into it.
Kids and grandmas go crazy for this shit,
You know,
and that's a good thing.
And kids, they know.
Yeah.
And we make it pretty easy to tell who the good guy and bad guy is. And just to speak on just an extra thing about the fans, they're so awesome. Not only do they come back each time, we were talking about them tailgating in the parking lot.
Yeah.
They clean up every single bit before they leave.
Oh, cool.
Really?
That's
It is
awesome.
the craziest tailgate.
Yeah, it's very respectful.
Yes.
That
it's
is
so cool.
awesome.
Like, they
That's
just love
great.
what we're doing, and they just want to make sure that we're able to continue doing it. And they're very respectful of the property too.
I
for
wish you all the
sure.
best of luck in this whole thing, and like I
Yeah.
said, whatever we can do to help you out, let us know.
I think that's an invitation to come back.
And
Yeah,
we would love to have you
definitely.
come
We'd
back.
love to
and
have y'all come back.
you
for
want to
sure.
you want to bring some of the other wrestlers by? Come on, anytime.
Man, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
Schedule
that'd be
it.
a lot
I would
of
say
fun.
it'd be interesting to have like a radio broadcast of a wrestling match, but it would be really weird.
That would be kind of fun to have an audio.
An audio only version
broadcast
of
wrestling.
wrestling. It would be strange. We could do it. I mean,
I think they used to do it back in the day.
back in the day they did with boxing for sure.
Surely.
But
Oh, yeah.
Used to get the
wrestling is
paper
not much further than
And
that.
read the Monday night results on the paper.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I
a
used to
little
do that.
square in the,
I used to do
commercial
that.
Yeah.
deal. Used to keep up
Cool.
with it that way.
No, I'm glad you're keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah.
And that's really the root of it. And we're all in this kind of this crazy business together, whether entertainment or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
And that, as Monica will point out, you gotta have help from other people around.
Oh
that
yeah,
are in the
you
business.
have to support each other in this community. I don't care what your medium is, like wrestling, music, podcasting. We all have to support one another.
100%.
In this city, I've learned that being on the film scene, being in the music scene. If we didn't support one another, like, you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna? So I've been very supportive of our local scene for many, many years, and starting to work here, I realized this gives me a platform to really help out, and so I've been making it my mission. So
Well, we'll tag team for something.
yes,
this year.
let's do that. That would be awesome.
Think it over. Let us know what you come up with, and we'll bounce some ideas around. Maybe we'll have some lunch somewhere and a beer, and we'll just hash it out. And we'll do something.
Yeah.
I'll drink Big John Dalton's beer.
Great stuff. Thanks for popping by.
Yeah,
yes.
really.
Thanks for being here, you guys.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate
Body
it.
slam, JD.
Out of this room, please. We've got some stuff.
I'll tap out now.
And then all 300 pounds of him stands up, and I'm like, oh my God, now my butt's puckering. This is crazy, man. All right, we'll pause here. Coming up, it's the Subteens,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
Subteens,
Don't
yeah.
run away. It's all next up out of the break. Here on the special, Wednesday night special here at Radio Memphis. The Back to the Light and Radio Memphis have teamed up for the 43rd year to raise some money for some deserving folks. This year benefiting the Room in the Inn. What's the website again?
RITIMemphis.org.
There you go.
Yeah.
If money's a little tight, they will take other things too. And while you're out doing your hustle and bustle and shopping and shit, you can pick up a couple of things to take over to the Room in the Inn, and they are much appreciative of that. So,
For sure.
take care of all of that.
Yeah, they have a list on their website.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They'll
They
take
do.
your time as well if that's
Yeah,
what
if you want to volunteer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A
Mr.
lot of
J.D.
great
Rieger has
programs.
brought this show to us again, and I'm thrilled to pieces. I hope we did some good.
Oh, I think we did. We had a good time, if nothing else. Jolly old Saint Rick.
I love it.
I just appreciate.
Yes.
I appreciate you letting me do this and having us all here for this. It's really an honor to be here. Thank you.
Brother, anytime we can help you out, just let us know. I mean, we're all in this together. There's no competition. There's none of that garbage. We're here to help you out, and you do such good work over there, Back to the Light. And if there's anything we can ever do to help you with another thing like this or whatever, you've got it. You've got us. Okay.
And same. Same.
Fabulous. I need to attend one of your live shows.
Yeah. Or maybe you'll be a guest at one.
Oh, that could happen.
Maybe I'll bring the desk here. Who knows?
That would be awesome.
We could do that. We could either do it in here. We can do it.
Have
in
desk. We'll travel.
Yeah, I hear you. We could set up in an open field somewhere and just tear it up. Yeah.
Dream big, Rick. I think the limits are only what we can imagine.
That is correct. That's how it works in this world. I thank you for bringing all the guests that you've had here this evening.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
And let's thank them by name. Thank you, Jeremy Scott. Thank you, Marvin Stockwell.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff Hewlett, for sending in a message. Thank you, Dustin, Starr, and Big John Dalton from Memphis Wrestling. And thank you to present guests, the Subteens.
Yay, boys.
Yes, in the room now. Look out.
Here to rock.
Yeah.
They're here to talk and to rock.
Talk and to rock. What's going on, guys? What are you doing?
Talking to the microphone.
Gonna be in bed in like 15 minutes.
There's one right there.
Get away from my microphone.
He essentially avoided the microphone.
It is amazing to me when you get musicians into the radio studio, they all immediately forget to speak into the microphone. It's
Why
like they
is
have
that?
not been performing on stage into microphones for their entire lives.
Yeah. Of course, I've seen it too, where musicians get into a recording enverment and they completely flip out. But they can get on a stage and go crazy, take their
Let me
pants
tell you,
off or
these
whatever
guys
they
in
do.
the studio are some flipped out MFers.
I'm gonna tell you, the Subteens is a thing, man. How long have you guys been doing it?
They've been flipping how many years?
How long ago was 1995?
I signed up in 99.
Yep. Yeah. Since 1990. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Since 1995.
Bubba's part of
You're
the
so fucking busy.
You're the only one, like, your
can
voice
say
is
whatever.
literally being broadcast in the room, and you asked if we could hear you.
Yeah. There's like 9 microphones. I got it.
Anyway, God,
Yeah.
as I was saying,
So what is that's
What was
20
the question?
coming up on 29 years?
Nearly 29 years. Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Yeah.
what are you planning for the 30th anniversary of the Subteens?
We're gonna break up.
next year.
Gonna break
We're
up
breaking up.
again.
That's a good time. 30 is a nice round number.
it is. We're planning on booking a show and then not showing up for it.
Yeah, I'm so not
Seems
there.
to track somehow.
That's very. That would be so Memphis. I appreciate you not doing that tonight.
I was thinking about taking up cocaine again. No,
Not
No,
at all.
no.
Not at all.
not even funny.
No. Last time you were here, you regaled us with some of the tales of your coke addiction.
I did.
Yes, you did. That's how I think
I
how
was
that
so
pair
high
of
on
pants
meth,
wound
I
up
was
in my
about to
office.
Not at
Once
all.
you get 4 or 5 drinks in him,
Totally forget the cocaine stories you've told.
Yeah.
Well, over 30
Well, that
years,
happens.
I mean,
Them out.
there's a lot of water went into that bridge, man. You guys have been there and done it, and have released a bunch of records in the process and played a billion shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, 3.
3 shows.
Three.
They did 3.
Yeah, 3
Oh,
records.
3 records.
And an EP.
And yeah.
I heard of one very interesting show. I think I may have brought it up before from somebody who was there. You guys had played. It was one of the shows at the deli, the Young Avenue Deli, and you were.
I can just tell Mark is thinking right now, what did I do?
I heard that you were wearing nothing but the guitar, and the cops were like hanging out waiting for some shit to happen. And at the end of the show, you raised your hands and said, "Good night, everybody," and then the guitar went up with you.
Yeah.
And the whole front row freaked out.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Are you asking a question?
I just maybe some confirmation of that. I don't doubt it.
I remember the thing with the cops, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember that the paper wrote an article
About
that day about that I had a propensity of disrobing, which was not true. It happened like maybe twice.
You did a thing for MTV, basically naked.
Pardon me?
You did a thing for MTV. It was a 30-second thing.
Oh, that was live from Memphis.
That was
Yeah,
live from
yeah.
Memphis,
Yeah, live
Wearing
from
nothing
Memphis.
but a guitar is what you were saying.
I had boxers on it. Why are we talking about this?
Because it
no
came up.
idea.
30 years of shit to talk about.
Let's get back to your body, though, Mark.
So,
I'm sure your drummer was amused by that stunt.
he wasn't. No, my mom had called. My mom warned me that the popo might be coming.
Oh,
And,
wow.
How did your mom know?
She didn't know. She just was smarter than me, and
It's
called
mother-
me and said, "Mark,
Mother's
the police
intuition.
are going to come, and you know, yada yada." And
Put your pants back on, Mark.
Yeah.
I just like to
You're an
imagine.
idiot. And don't tell anybody you're my son.
I like to imagine a world where someone at the show called your mom to call you.
Yeah.
We better let her know about this.
Yeah.
Mothers do have intuitions, though. Like,
do.
I think my son's about to be in trouble.
Yeah.
He's probably without his pants right now.
Yeah.
I will tell you that your current record that you have out, Volume 4, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Is one of the best things I've heard come out of this city in many, many years. That is a
Yes.
hell of a rock and roll
Thank
record.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a thing.
On Back to the Light Records.
Yeah.
Produced
This
by
guy-
J.D. Rieger.
This
Yeah.
guy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I'm most proud of in my music career. As
And
well.
you should be quite proud of that.
Honestly.
It's an awesome record. It's got some great music on it. You guys are just on fire throughout the whole thing, and
Thank you.
some great lyrical work on it as well. Some good songwriting.
Thank you.
Great lyrics, good songwriting. great lyrics, pretty good songs.
I know what I meant. George and Martha is one of my favorites.
Oh man, Jay wrote that.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you
hate that
disappointed?
Hey, spreading it around. No, it's a great product all the way around. The artwork on it is beautiful. The train wreck on the front of it is just tells stories. And I love that you're kind of you put into the picture in the background of the train wreck.
That was Jay's idea.
Was it really?
No, that was Mona's idea. I did
Was
it,
it?
but Mona was the one. She said you guys should. This is Bubba's friend. Said you should put you guys on the cover somewhere. And there just happened to be 3 guys in the background that were sort of.
And like
more
a
or
band
less-
hanging out by
Yeah,
by
yeah.
a wrecked train.
They matched our statures, and they were sort of grouped in 3, and I could take a black and white photo of us and just.
The Wright brothers took that picture.
The Wright brothers.
Yeah.
Is that really what
Yes,
that was?
true,
The
true
actual
story.
Wright
The Wright brothers got that picture.
Yep. And
They were the
even
Wright brothers, yeah.
even stranger, their dad was on one of the trains. There
Oh.
was a head-on collision, 2 trains.
Wow.
And their
Oh, wow.
dad was on one of the trains, and he survived. There was only 1 casualty, and that was the guy jumping off one of the
Hey,
trains.
it's a good thing the
Oh,
Wright
wow.
brothers invented the airplane instead of the Long brothers.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why is the question? Why is the guy with no microphone telling jokes? Is that the
I could
question?
hear him.
I have.
No.
Doing fine. I'm the one hearing headphones.
What's your
Why is there
question?
an
Mark?
inflatable doll hanging on the
That's
wall?
Rosie.
That's
That's-
Rosie.
that's your
Her name
take-home
is her
bonus.
full name is
That's my
Rosie
take-home
Palms.
bonus?
Rosie Palm.
In lieu of
Heck
pay.
yeah.
She used to. I worked with her a little bit over at Rock 103 when I was
Okay.
over there, and she was an unwitting star in a television commercial promoting Bad Dog and Rick during the irreverence phase of what we were doing.
Okay.
And she makes an appearance where she comes into the Catholic the confessional, and Bad Dog had a mouthful of whiskey that he spits, and I got sprayed and all of that. Of course, he had a sandwich as long as my leg that was in there. He was eating on, and he was just laughing, and she showed up. So
They didn't air it,
Do you remember when I called into, y'all were playing some Subteens on Rock 103, and I called you guys from a Taco Bell drive-in line?
I do remember that. Yes, I
And
do.
it was like on air.
It was on the air. You called in and said, "Hey, boys, what's up?"
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when we did the Great Unsigned, it was Dennis
Don't know
Philippi
what-
and myself.
Yeah,
that did
yeah,
it.
it was you and Dennis. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun.
They didn't offer to get you anything?
Pardon me?
You
Can I get you
They asked me if I'd bring them something.
a chalupa? So you're going to follow that record up with anything soon, you think? You don't know?
I would like to.
We were just talking about
Yeah.
that. We got songs.
We do have songs. As soon as Jay writes some more songs.
Yeah.
So it's all on you, Jay.
Right.
The pressure.
The pressure.
You got some songs too.
I have written a song
A
or
song.
two.
There was one song I
That's
think
a start.
that you needed my copy of your recording of that song because you forgot how to play it.
That sounds like a Subteen story.
Which I was more than happy to oblige. I mean, I'll forget the song, but
Well,
it was on.
I do too.
It was. It was a tune that showed up on one of the makeshift collection of tunes because.
Never gonna
Yeah,
happen.
That's
a fun
it. It was
song.
never going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did have.
I recorded that one too.
It had an
did?
interesting
I'll just-
guitar start.
I'll
to
just be
it,
sitting
so-
here taking credit.
And you should. You should take credit for the whole thing. Yeah. So you got any shows coming up?
No.
No. Slackers. Come on. It's almost.
They're waiting to make an announcement.
We are?
Yeah. That's what you always say.
Yeah,
Hardly
yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Yeah,
We're waiting to make an
Well, we're gonna-
There's
we're
a big
gonna-
show coming up.
Yeah. We got something. We got to talk about it next year.
We can't let right.
Yeah.
We can't wait till. I mean, we can't.
Well,
we
next
can't
year is
wait
going to be in a
tell you
few
about
weeks.
it.
Yeah.
Next
We just
year.
can't next year.
Well, I got you.
Yeah.
So if we just keep
Line.
talking until next year.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll keep talking, and in 2025,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's gonna be
And
fucking
the
cool.
Subteens will play a show somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how. I do think a
excited.
30th anniversary show is on the tabs for you though,
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
because most people don't work for a company for 30
No.
freaking years
And you should,
either.
you should have every subteen, every member of the band
Oh my God!
Well,
Yeah.
I'm ready to.
perform at the 30th anniversary show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'd have to get Sean would have to come back and play drums.
Yeah.
Jeremy Silman would have to come back.
It's a lot of drummers.
It's like Spinal Tap in
It
here.
just it was.
Terrence.
It just took a
Until
small
John showed up.
Yeah,
and then-
Terrence,
then
yeah.
The
He
train
was-
of drummers stopped.
He was the one.
He was the one. He sat upon the throne and said, "This is mine."
Yes.
And then Christine played drums with us for a bit.
She did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who
Yeah.
else.
And who did Mark replace?
Who did I replace?
The original Mark. We need to get
The original Mark. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You've been a Subteen since day one.
I have.
Yes. How did you get hooked up with it? How did the whole thing start?
How did the sub team start?
Yeah. How did it start?
You and I were in a bunch of really shitty cover bands for years.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then we were in a shitty original band called the Sub Team.
Don't be so hard on yourself,
So,
man.
yeah, I believe you asked me the question, guys. No, please.
Did you ask him the question?
It happened.
So we were in as my colleague mentioned, we were in a bunch of shitty bands, and nobody would come to see us. And then I was living in Midtown and had to move out of the place I was living in, and have known Jay since I was like 4 or 5, and I guess I was depressed or something.
Yeah.
And called Jay.
That wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't.
It was not my fault.
And I called Jay. I was like, "Hey man, I'm depressed. I'm gonna get a beer." And we went to Huey's in Midtown, and I remember we were sitting by the window, and he just looked at me in this way. No, and
And you knew.
anyway, I think one of us said, "Hey, you want to start a band?" And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there it happened.
riveting story.
It's probably the similar tale for several bands around here, I guess. You know.
And then that pretty much went on. That was 1995, and then that went on until about, excuse me, 1999. So about for 4 years, nobody would come see us play.
It happens.
And
Yeah.
and then eventually, some people
It took off.
Maybe started to come see us play. And
Every time I talk to people about, knowing you guys and having you guys down here and that we play your stuff, they get excited. I mean, the Subteens is a big thing.
Yeah.
They don't know what a Subteen is, per se,
Yeah.
but they know the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's important.
That is honestly an honor. It really is.
We've got a picture of you guys. JD, you're in on that as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I've
It's
seen
up in
that.
our front.
That was at the brewery.
It's the Back to the Light family portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, because there's like 2 bands in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Only one drummer.
That's right.
Two bands, one drummer, one night only.
Memphis.
We appreciate you guys coming in tonight to help us out.
For sure.
You know,
Thank you. We appreciate you having us.
Are you guys capable of rocking a little bit?
We'll see.
Jay, what do you think? John,
50-50.
50-50?
50-50.
We'll give it our best.
We should probably tell you guys we haven't played together since October.
No, he's making
undersell
excuses
it.
already.
Don't sandbag.
I was at that show. You guys rocked.
Come on.
Yeah, Monica was there. She doesn't lie. Okay, so.
In all seriousness, we haven't even agreed on what songs we're going to play.
Well, that seems to track.
Typical Subteens.
What are we going to play?
Just everybody play whatever song they want to play.
Okay.
And he'll find it. He'll
All at
figure
the
it
same
out.
time?
Are we taking requests? Is anyone actually listening?
Yeah, I'm listening, if that helps.
I know what one I'm going to play.
People listen to this show.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, not anymore since you've been on.
Yeah.
They turned this off.
We're listening.
Yeah.
A song called, what's this song called? Midtown Bar. Sunday night in a Midtown Bar. Roll those eyes and tear me apart. Sing us some drinks and sing us some more. Stare at the screen and we'll know who you are. Gonna take a week or two, oh, to get you out of my head. Till that time has gone, there's really nothing to be. Just a night in a Midtown bar, where I sit and you look like a star. Pretty well assembled, I guess. Where I take a week or two to get you out of my head. Time has come, there's really nothing to be said. Just like all the rest, mentally undressed, till I get you out of my head. I never called you sweetheart, and I'm not about to start. God knows, another hole in my head. Or two, oh, get you out of my head. Till that time has gone, really to be sad. Just like all the rest. Come on, mentally undressed. Till I get you out of my head. Out of my head. Out of my head.
The Subteens Radio Memphis Holiday greetings from them. Man, that was beautiful. Thank you, fellas. I appreciate that.
That was awesome.
Right on.
Damn.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, man.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
thanks for coming out. That was awesome.
Yeah. Look, see, JD Reager knows how to bring out the best in people.
Hell yeah.
That he do.
I just invite the best, and they bring themselves.
There it is.
I had a lot of fun. Thanks for
It
letting
was
us
a big
do
time.
this.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for letting me do this. I hope that next year, in year 44, we can continue the tradition.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, man. I'm
44
absolutely here.
years, man.
We'll come up with something that'll be like a traditional thing aside from just the broadcast itself. Maybe we'll set something on fire or something. I don't know.
Although there's nothing wrong with the good old-fashioned traditional ruckus.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Love
lot of
that.
noise. Yeah.
The Christmas ruckus.
I like
Yeah,
it. The
for
Christmas
sure.
ruckus. Yes.
Gosh, that would have been a better name now that I think of it.
Well, next year.
There's always for 44, look
that.
out.
There is always that. So thanks again, sir, for bringing it to us. And whatever we can do to help you out, just, you can always count on Monica and myself to make it
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Just let
feeling
me
is
know.
mutual, and thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Right on. Y'all have a decent night. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening as more rock and roll continues here at Radio Memphis.
Yes.
As we pause. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Radio Memphis.
You bet. Anytime.